Hello, and welcome. Today we're diving into one of the most significant developments impacting the federal government and its workforce. In a series of sweeping executive orders, President Trump has set in motion plans that will drastically reshape the federal landscape by reducing the size of the workforce and reorganizing how government agencies operate. At the heart of this new initiative is an unexpected twist: the appointment of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known by its acronym DOGE, to oversee these cuts and coordinate new hiring practices. At the heart of this new initiative is an unexpected twist: the appointment of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, known by its acronym DOGE, to oversee these cuts and coordinate new hiring practices. Over the next several minutes, we'll unpack the details of these orders, examine expert opinions, explore public reactions, and discuss the potential future implications for federal services and employment. This isn't just another headline. These changes strike at the core of how government functions, promising to alter not only the way federal agencies manage their staffing, but also how they deliver services to the American public. While some see this as a bold move toward a leaner, more cost-effective government, others worry that these drastic measures could undermine decades of institutional stability and erode the expertise that many rely on for consistent public service. Let's start by breaking down exactly what these executive orders entail and what the establishment of DOGE means for federal agencies across the board. Let's get into the specifics. President Trump's new executive orders are designed to implement a significant reduction in the federal workforce. These orders instruct federal agencies to prepare for large-scale workforce reductions, a phrase that signals not only a minor trimming of staff, but a substantial overhaul of how government offices operate. Agencies are now mandated to reevaluate their personnel needs and develop strategic plans that align with this dramatic shift. Central to this strategy is the empowerment of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Although DOGE is associated with principles pioneered by Elon Musk's approach to innovation and efficiency, its new role in the federal framework is far-reaching. Under the direction of DOGE, federal agencies are required to coordinate their hiring practices. This means that rather than individual agencies making autonomous decisions on staffing, there will be a centralized oversight mechanism that ensures hiring aligns with the broader goal of governmental efficiency. The directive pushes agencies not only to downsize where possible, but also to be strategic about any new appointments, potentially favoring candidates who can bring fresh perspectives on efficiency and modern governance. This initiative is intended to cut down on what many critics have long described as bureaucratic bloat, a system where redundant positions and inefficiencies have, over time, sapped the agility of federal agencies. Proponents argue that a smaller, more nimble workforce will reduce operational costs, enhance decision-making speed, and ultimately lead to a government that is more in tune with the needs of the public. However, the language of the orders, specifically the call for large-scale workforce reductions, has raised immediate concerns about job security for thousands of federal employees who have built long, dedicated careers within these institutions. It's important to note that these orders represent not just an administrative shift, but a fundamental change in policy. The move to centralize hiring under DOGE marks a departure from decades of traditional staffing practices, where each agency managed its own workforce based on its unique operational needs. Now, with DOGE at the helm, there is an implicit promise of uniformity, streamlined processes, and an overarching push for efficiency that could, theoretically, ripple across the entire federal structure. Yet this sweeping change is not without controversy. Critics question whether the one-size-fits-all model proposed by DOGE will adequately address the diverse and complex needs of various federal agencies, From homeland security to environmental regulation, the potential for disruption is significant. Many fear that the loss of experienced personnel who possess invaluable institutional knowledge could lead to lapses in service delivery and a diminished capacity to respond to crises or emerging issues. In addition, the shift raises broader questions about the future of federal employment. With a centralized body now dictating hiring practices and workforce reductions, there's a risk that the unique cultures and specialized expertise that have been cultivated within individual agencies might be sacrificed on the altar of efficiency. As we move forward, we'll be keeping a close eye on how these plans are implemented and the tangible effects they have on both the workforce and the quality of public services. Turning now to expert opinions, it's clear that this bold move has stirred a wide range of reactions among policy analysts, economists, and government management experts. On one hand, there is a school of thought that applauds the initiative as a necessary reform. According to these experts, the federal government has long been hampered by layers of bureaucracy and redundant roles that have slowed down decision-making processes and increased costs unnecessarily. They argue that by trimming the fat and centralizing hiring decisions through DOGE, the government could become more agile and responsive, a modern, lean institution that reflects the innovative spirit of today's dynamic economy. One prominent government management expert commented, "A leaner federal workforce could lead to significant cost savings and greater operational efficiency. If implemented carefully, these measures might pave the way for a government that is both more responsive and better equipped to handle modern challenges." Proponents of the executive orders maintain that by reducing the number of personnel and focusing on efficiency, federal agencies can reallocate resources to areas that directly impact public service and innovation. However, there is a strong counter-narrative among labor economists and veteran public servants who express deep concerns about the potential downsides. They warn that the loss of experienced staff may have far-reaching implications. Institutional memory, built over decades, is critical for the smooth operation of government services. When you remove seasoned professionals from the equation, you risk losing the nuanced understanding of policies and procedures that only experience can provide, noted one respected labor economist. This loss could lead to significant disruptions in service delivery, especially in areas where precision and continuity are essential. Moreover, many experts are skeptical about the centralized hiring model. They caution that while efficiency is an admirable goal, it should not come at the expense of diversity in expertise and specialized knowledge. Federal agencies often operate in highly specialized fields, and a standardized hiring process might overlook the unique skill sets required in different departments. The concern is that DOGE's one-size-fits-all approach may not adequately account for these differences, leading to a workforce that is less adaptable and more homogenized than what is actually needed to address complex governmental functions. Furthermore, the political ramifications of such sweeping cuts are not lost on strategic analysts. Critics argue that these changes could inadvertently politicize the federal workforce, as decisions about who stays and who goes may be seen as politically motivated rather than based on performance or merit. The long-term impact on the morale of remaining employees is also a serious concern. The uncertainty surrounding job security and the potential erosion of institutional knowledge might lead to lower overall productivity and diminished public confidence in the government's ability to serve its citizens effectively. Let's now turn our attention to public reactions. Across various social media platforms, discussion boards, and community forums, the public response has been anything but uniform. On one side, there are those who cheer this move as a long-overdue reform of a bloated bureaucracy. Many individuals and groups argue that the federal government has become inefficient over the years, and that a significant reduction in workforce could help streamline operations and reduce unnecessary spending. For these supporters, the appointment of DOGE is seen as an innovative approach to modernizing the public sector, a way to bring private sector efficiency into government management. However, a significant portion of the public remains deeply concerned about the consequences of these changes. Federal employees, in particular, have expressed anxiety about their job security and the potential loss of benefits that come with long-term public service. There is a palpable sense of unease among those who have dedicated years of their careers to serving the public as they face the prospect of drastic cuts that could fundamentally alter their roles and responsibilities. The fear is not just about losing a job. It's about the erosions of expertise, the loss of reliable public services, and the impact these changes could have on the stability of communities that rely on federal support. Union representatives and advocacy groups have also weighed in, voicing concerns about the broader impact on government operations. They highlight that while efficiency is important, the approach must be balanced with the need to maintain a competent and dedicated workforce capable of handling the complexities of federal work. It's crucial that any measures taken to reduce the workforce do not compromise the quality and continuity of public services, stated one union spokesperson. The worry is that if too many experienced professionals are let go, agencies may struggle to maintain the standards that the public has come to expect. Additionally, there is a broader societal debate at play. Many citizens worry about the precedent set by such sweeping reforms. If one administration can drastically alter the federal workforce with the stroke of a pen, what does this mean for the future of government employment? The potential for future administrations to enact similarly dramatic changes has left many wondering whether such moves could lead to a cycle of instability in the public sector, where each new government overhaul further erodes the continuity and reliability of federal services. The public's reaction, therefore, is a microcosm of a larger national conversation about efficiency versus stability, a debate that touches on issues of fiscal responsibility, job security, and the long-term implications of centralized decision-making in the public sector. Looking ahead, the future implications of these executive orders are complex and multifaceted. On the surface, the initiative promises a leaner, more efficient federal government, a modernized institution that mirrors the dynamic and fast-paced nature of today's private sector. The centralization of hiring through DOGE could, in theory, streamline operations and ensure that only the most capable candidates are brought into key roles. This could lead to cost savings and faster, more decisive action in addressing the challenges facing the country. However, beneath this optimistic outlook lie several potential pitfalls that policymakers and the public alike must consider. One major concern is the potential loss of institutional knowledge. Federal agencies have evolved over decades, accumulating a wealth of experience and specialized expertise that is not easily replaced. By reducing the workforce significantly and centralizing hiring practices, there is a real risk that this accumulated wisdom will be lost, something that could severely impact the government's ability to manage complex issues and respond effectively to emergencies. Moreover, the changes could trigger a broader transformation in the nature of federal employment. With DOGE setting the standards for hiring and workforce management, the traditional model of federal employment may give way to a more performance-driven, efficiency-oriented culture. While this might lead to a more dynamic workforce in the long run, it could also result in increased job insecurity and a culture of short-term performance metrics that overshadow the importance of long-term planning and stability. Such a shift might deter talented individuals from pursuing careers in public service, ultimately weakening the government's capacity to serve the public effectively. The economic implications of these changes should also not be underestimated. Federal jobs are a significant source of employment in many communities across the country, and large-scale cuts could have a ripple effect on local economies. Reduced government spending and layoffs may lead to diminished consumer spending and lower overall economic activity in regions where federal employment has traditionally been a stabilizing force. This could exacerbate existing economic challenges, particularly in areas already facing financial difficulties. Furthermore, there is the question of public trust. Government institutions have long relied on the consistency and reliability of their services to maintain public confidence. If the execution of these workforce reductions results in service delays, loss of quality, or even outright failures in critical areas, it could lead to a broader erosion of trust in government. As public expectations continue to rise in an increasingly complex and interconnected world, maintaining a high standard of service becomes not just an operational necessity, but a cornerstone of democratic accountability. The long-term impact of these measures will likely depend on how well the balance is struck between efficiency and stability. If the government can successfully streamline its operations without sacrificing the expertise and reliability that the public depends on, the result could be a model for modern governance. However, if the cuts are too severe or implemented without careful planning, we may see a decline in the quality of public services and a weakening of the institutional framework that has supported the nation for so long. In conclusion, the executive orders signed by President Trump represent one of the most ambitious attempts to reform the federal government in recent memory. By mandating large-scale workforce reductions and placing DOGE at the center of hiring decisions, the administration is aiming to create a more efficient, cost-effective, and modernized government. However, the move is not without its risks. With potential disruptions to institutional knowledge, public service delivery, and job security, these changes have sparked vigorous debates among experts and the public alike. As we continue to monitor this evolving story, it's crucial that we consider both the potential benefits and the serious risks involved. Will these measures ultimately lead to a leaner, more agile federal government? Or could they trigger unforeseen challenges that undermine the very services they aim to improve? The answer remains uncertain, and your perspective is invaluable as we navigate these complex issues. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the sweeping changes being implemented through these executive orders? Do you see this as a necessary step toward modernizing government operations, or do you fear it might do more harm than good? Please share your opinions in the comments below. Your insights and discussions help shed light on the many facets of this debate. Thank you for joining us today as we unpacked this critical development in federal governance. If you found this analysis informative, consider liking this video and subscribing to stay updated on future developments and in-depth news analysis. We look forward to engaging with you in the comments and exploring how these changes will unfold in the months and years ahead. Stay informed, stay engaged, and until next time, thank you for watching.